Oh hey, you caught me at a bad time again. I was praying to Grandfather Marx again to save us from this hell. You might be wondering why I'm still doing this. Well, I'm not finished yet. I said in the last video that Battleship Potemkin was the best silent film Russia's ever made. Well, I'm gonna go over the second best silent film Russia's ever made. Man with a Movie Camera. Let me get back to the usual setup. Much better. Okay, so this film is a slice of life documentary where most of the footage is of everyday life, watching many different people work, go out, have fun. It's a very simple documentary that's pretty enjoyable. What sets this apart from the time was its experimentation of what was being shown and what is told from it. A collection of footage put together to create an underlying theme, a theme that was very explicit in Battleship Potemkin, being communism. That's why I'm still in my uniform, because I'm not finished yet. If Potemkin was the revolution and the start of communism, then Man with a Movie Camera is the aftermath, showing the achievements workers acquire through their hard work. They collectively built a rich and happy city showing the best life can offer without any struggles holding them down. It's borderline utopian how their city is. Now usually I would go through the film and break it down like I did with Battleship Potemkin, but this film is a bit different, as it is merely a collection of footage put together to create a narrative theme. So to make this work, I'm going to go over the most important aspects of the film and why it is the best and why I believe it is a communist film. Sound good? The beginning of the film is a great opener, a quiet, empty theater. The camera's getting ready to play the film we are about to watch. The doors open, people are flooding in. The band gets ready, and...
Well, we're waiting.
the film starts. The city is asleep until everyone gets up and travels to work. Many people populate the city and many have jobs to go to. Doctors, barbers, soldiers, editors, you name it. We see all these people work to contribute and help better the society. After they are done with work, they go off and do things that make them happy, either swimming, sports, whatever. The point is there is a work-life balance that benefits everyone. No one is overworking or looking miserable. They're all happy and enjoying it. It's not necessarily a propaganda film like Potemkin, but from what we can glean from the film, you can tell there is some communist propaganda that is being said. The work is being put up front and showing what they do. It shows how important their contributions are, especially in what could be seen as a classless society, where throughout the film there doesn't seem to be that big of a distinction between social class. Everyone just exists here. There are some outliers of this, but this could be seen as a rally for working, but I'm probably just making a stretch. Another thing to point out in this is how the beginning ties into the film, where these rich people are watching what we see. It's like they're seeing a world they might not have seen, watching all these workers go to work and do stuff outside of it, and still being happy. It could be interpreted in terms of communism as showing the bourgeoisie what could happen if you give these workers rights, adequate working hours, and time off. Something to better the lives of all. Saying how if you do all this, you can still produce the best work and still be happy. I know it's a joke to bring up Scandinavian countries, but countries like Finland really do well in this balance, where people work in a very fast-paced or relaxed environment and still produce their best work, while also having time to relax and spend time with their family or doing hobbies. It's why they are constantly ranked as the happiest country in the world. The last thing I want to point out is just the general filmmaking, where we see stop motion, layering and rotation of footage. The manipulation of these footage is a nice break from the standard footage we've been seeing throughout the film. If you want to get really analytical, it can be seen as how this society is getting warped and becoming distorted. How this is just an imagination, as the final scene is of an eye looking through the camera, seeing what could be, but is ultimately impossible. The film when it was released didn't do that well, with Potemkin director Sergei Eisenstein even saying that it was pointless camera hooliganism. It was only until later in life that it got the recognition it deserved, being called now as one of the greats. The film was great in terms of what it does with documentary and how experimental you can be with it. If anything, I highly recommend people watch this. It is such a great watch, even if you're not a big fan of like documentaries or silent films. And that's my thoughts with Man with a Movie Camera. Most of what I said is just what I got from it and how I interpreted it. I could be wrong on those interpretations, but it's what makes sense for me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.